Alrighty folks, we are back working on here. It, for me, has been a while. I've been doing a lot of prep work, just moving some stuff, getting stuff organized in the other shop. There will be a video very soon on that. Hopefully, actually by this time I'm moved in, I hope. I don't know. We'll see. We're still waiting for hydro, which I realize nobody, if you're in the States, doesn't know what that is. That is our electric company. So they got to at least get me some temporary power hooked up, and then we can get our heat and everything else working. Till then, we're back on here. So we kind of have this thing sort of roughed in. This is I'm pretty happy the way that's all looking. I think what I want to play with right now, because we're gonna have to work with our dash. I got to get some HVAC, or I don't know if that's the right term, but I got to get some defrost and things like that working for the heat. And the wipers. So basically what I want to do before I permanently mount my dash, I think I'm going to take it off. I want to get myself some electric wipers in here. Probably take the heater out, test it, see that it's good. That way we can plumb our ducting and things like that. Way back, I put this post in for the windshield, but I can see now that I just found some junk glass. So I have that on there. And well, I have some junk glass. You can see that we made an extension on here so we can glue the glass in, but I want to support the glass in the middle, and it's a little excessive. I might want to, well, it's not terrible, but I basically want to V-butt the glass into the middle here. I might break this and try to bring it up so it's a little more consistent top and bottom, and then we're going to add like some V to it that, again, we can glue the center of the glass against. When you're driving, I feel like there's going to be a lot of force on that, so I just want to make sure we can give it as much support as possible. This post I ran in, and it's actually attached to the firewall down here. No, can't see, but you will see. So anyways, what we're going to do is pull the dash out. I grabbed a wiper motor from like a, I don't know, like a 2000 Silverado or something like that. No, this is actually out of an old van. I think it's like a, I don't know, early 90s van, which is just a GM motor. Seems to be a 2-speed. I kind of have this figured out, so that's great. This is the one that just spins roundy round, but I've made these work, so we're gonna adapt it and hopefully get us some wipers and some heater in here. So it's a necessary thing for us out here, so I'm basically we're gonna get started here. First step is I'm gonna just break this dash away. It's only held in by a few tacks right now. There's a few up here. So while I can, I feel like we'll start with getting windshield wipers. And then while we're in there and this is apart, we can get into that heater system. So that's okay, it's working. I'm not too happy with the stroke, but you can see up top, I'm at least getting here. And then it should just park, I think. So that's parked. Well, that works. I'm not too happy with it. Like the wiper arm, like it parks good, but it only comes like pretty much straight up. But I guess in the end, it's better than nothing. I don't plan to purposely really drive in the rain, but anyways, our next step is essentially, I got a clock. Hold on. Wherever this is parked, which I think I got to move this down a little bit. We're gonna have to make an extension off the top that this thing can sit on, and then it can actually fully spin around as well. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to do it and it's hard here. But the whole works needs to start like here, and then as it does its swing around there and not contact this thing. So essentially we got to build a bar off of here with a second nut coming out that this thing can ride on, so it's almost like a set of bicycle pedals. You'll see. I'll show you in a second here. Well, looks like it works. You can see these are in the park position now, and we'll do one cycle. Just got to do some bracing onto here yet. I don't know that I'm keeping this bent, so I'll brace this a little differently. So you can see the motion. Here we go. That one's going. This one's going. We just basically built a set of bicycle pedals inside that run off a standard motor. So with that said, this is built that it is not serviceable. We can unbolt this from the motor to change the motor, but if something buggers in here, I'm just gonna have to cut it apart to fix, which is really not a big deal. It's not like it's something I'm using every day. Oops, we'll get that to park. This thing does like a couple rounds. There we go. So it parks. Our wipers are sitting where they should be. This will give us high and low. So I call that a win. So a motor is, like I say, it's the motor out of a van, like an 80s, late 80s, early 90s van. So we used the original cam, or whatever you want to call on there. We put a nut over to the one side, clocked over to the other side, so it's like you're pedaling a bicycle, but whatever, it works. It spins in circles, does its thing. We put a brace on the bottom, it's welded on top, 3 bolts, and the nut in the front. We can actually pop it out and service it, or change the motor out if we have to. Anyways, that thing's permanently mounted. That is good. I have to look at the vents. I think the next thing I'm going to look at first here is just the windshield, because we have the post, and remember I was saying I had to bring this up a little bit. So I think we got to break the weld away from here, get this up to where I'm happy that it's just in a vertical place that I want it to be, and then we'll build some bracketry to hold it down there. This is just when you're driving down the road, the wind force on here, this is just gonna keep the center of the window in place. Normally you have the whole roof structure to hold it, and then there's like a bar in these trucks that would sandwich together and holds everything. So let's stick my scabby piece of glass in there. We'll bust that loose, we'll pry it a little bit, figure out where I need, and then I don't know, we'll build some stuff to hold it there. This is something that doesn't need to come out, so once I have a nice uniform shape, I'm just gonna V some steel or something in there so that my glass is something to rest against that I can glue the center to. And then we'll look at that thing, tear that thing out. Those are miserable to take out, but I just want to make sure the heater core is good and the motor is good. I like these factory ones because they actually are great for heat, because it's there and still grabs fresh air from the outside, so you don't get foggy windows inside. And we won't use any of the heater controls or any of that. We'll just have it on a switch, but I like the fact that it can plumb and do defrost duty. Well, it's holding, but it does have a slight leak. I can't see where. I've been filling with water, like soapy water, but nothing's bubbling. We'll kind of risk it and just think it's out of one of the fittings or out of this thing maybe. It's not holding right, but just gonna test the motor now, see if it works. I say that's a win. This thing's not bubbling, so I don't know. I'll probably still take it out yet That way we can blow it out from inside. And then, well, I guess we'll paint it and put it back in the truck. All right, we got our heater back in. So that thing's back in place. I didn't pull any of that sound deadening because, well, I don't know. It's pretty good. I'll put some more in there once we figure out what we're all doing under here. But anyways, I have one, I think it's an original style vent. And then I have this one. And I think I'll stick this one right there because I can probably get around the wiper stuff and it'll be easier to loop a line over. And then hopefully this one I can, yeah, that one would be good over there because I can, this is this my goopy, I should actually just take this off, but this is just something I set up to hold the steering wheel in quick. But anyways, we're gonna do this, zap these bad boys in there because I can funnel that around. I think I'm going to take this arm off, this off, and we'll just clean up and we're going to weld this thing in. Like I plan to put air conditioning in here, so I'm not going to worry about that. We should right away just quickly make a trans tunnel, I guess, like just to get this out of the way so our floor is just about done kind of thing. Yeah. But first things first, we'll zap those. Then we have to go back, visit our dash, because we don't even have any provision for that. So we're gonna have to make like a long, like a louver or something so it can blow against the window. The defrost is the big one. For me anyways, just to defrost the window. Well, we got this fitting in, not too bad. Well, I shouldn't say. We've just placed it, but you can see I kind of split this open for our vents. So I kind of pulled the dash back a little bit. We'll have to add a filler in around here, but I'm thinking I'm going to go hunt around outside. See if I can find, I guess a truck would be the best. some garnish molding for one of these trucks. So at least I can try to make the dash line up with it, even though it's just going to end somewhere right here. I think that would make the most sense right now. So we'll go hunt around outside and see what we can find. Well, I can only find half of a truck one. I have some way different garbage moldings too. But I guess this being what's supposed to be on here. We'll see how it looks and what it covers. Well, that wouldn't be bad. It's actually covered up everything here. I like that. But then we could always go with a trick route. I'd have to find another half yet. I don't know, this is like a back window. Yeah, this definitely does not work. I don't even know what that is. No. This one, that is pretty slick. If the guy could figure out how to make this work. Especially, look how cool that middle is. It's clearly been banged up. Maybe not. It's maybe a back window from something, clearly. I don't know if I can make that work. I mean, it looks cool. It's a little messed up, but you know what? It's kind of messed up. Let's cut it up. You can always weld it back. I want to see if we can kind of get the nose around this piece, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe it's too much. We'll see. I mean, it's neat, but man, less is more, I think. Yeah, I think I'll go with this. I just gotta find one more of these now. Well, we got the dash just zapped in. We got a lot of work to do with it and making things all fit. But I cut this. It's got a little bit of trim to go over the top hump. I like the fit. It's fitting pretty good. You can see over here how we're gonna have to build and be creative. We have to just gut this whole weather, you want to call it windlace or wind seal. I think I want to just peel that whole thing off. I don't know what I'll make or what we'll do, but I think we can then just make a nice transition, but I think that's for another time. For now, we're going to trim the other side, get that thing going. And I don't know. I think maybe we'll just quickly build this transmission hump just to kind of get that done and out of the way. I think that is what we're going to do. Anyways, let's trim that thing up. We have to do a whole lot of welding and filling up into here yet because we got to make some. There's just a lot of holes. But let's just trim this other side, and then like I say, I'm just going to build up that transmission hump. bud? Had enough of my welding? Well, we did a whole bunch of patching. We did the floors, like I did the tunnel like I wanted, but then we still had a small bunch of little pinholes all over the place, so we cut out, put some patches back in. I put that piece back in. Around the steering, we kind of fixed that part up over there. So, yeah. So that puts us to, we have our dash semi just tacked in. I've kind of made a simple little brace for the steering column on the bottom. That's there. We got our wiper in and working. We got our ducts run. We have our upper, don't know what you want to call this, garnish molding, or lower one. So these are going to go here and up. So that's fine. I peeled the windlace track out. I'm going to find some other way to do that. It was kind of junky, so we'll fix that up. But yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave this one. I think the next round we're going to actually get to the dash. We're going to have to figure a way to mold all of this stuff. And I'd like to get the steering column kind of down and in, make a mount, make a, well, get it basically bolted. It'd be really nice if we had it connected to the steering box. That would be super cool. Oh yeah, I don't even know if I have any wobble joints now. I'll have to, maybe I have to order that, so maybe that won't happen yet. But we do have to, like I say, get the dash all molded in and things. Clean up a few things. This headlight switch just got slaughtered. I seen. So we might have to steal some parts from one of the other cars out in the yard, but yeah. Anyways, like I said, I think that's where we're going to leave this one. So I want to thank you all for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Later.